The Smurf crisis is destroying Marvel Rivals. Oh, brother, I'm afraid this isn't going to slow down soon.
Smurfing is completely out of control in Marvel Rivals. It's one of its biggest problems, and if you're below the Eternity rank, you know exactly how I feel. It's making ranked a nightmare. High-ranked players come down and start stomping on lower lobbies, throwing games, boosting their friends, and making it impossible for a legit player to climb. And the
I truly believe that if you smurf to lower ranks just to throw games, you should not be playing Marvel Rivals. You should be admitted to a mental asylum. That is some of the most deplorable stuff I've ever heard in my entire life.
The worst part is that nobody is even talking about it or doing anything about it. Today I'm going to be breaking down exactly why smurfing is destroying the game.
Well, to be fair, it's not that nobody's talking about it. I think that people were just in the honeymoon phase of the game, so nobody really spoke ill of it. But now that we're kind of out of the honeymoon phase already, it's already about to be new season. All the problems are starting to bubble up to the surface again, and more people are starting to speak against them each day. So I do think we're seeing a rise in people speaking about certain problems in the game. Is it enough? Probably not, but hey, as long as we keep talking about it, more and more people are gonna join, and eventually the developers will hopefully notice.
The toxic mentality behind it, and most importantly, what the devs need to do to fix this mess before it's too late. If you enjoy videos like this where I rant and talk about Marvel Rivals, make sure you subscribe, it helps me out a lot. And before we start, for those of you who don't know or aren't familiar with the term of smurfing, smurfing is when a high-ranked player makes a new account just to play in the lower ranks. And one of the biggest problems with smurfs in general is just their mentality. These players have an inflated ego and a terrible attitude towards the game. They hit a higher rank already on their main, so they drop down into lower lobbies and they act like nothing matters.
To be fair, I think most Smurfs doesn't even hit a high rank. I think most Smurf are Grandmaster, Diamond, and like maybe Celestial, but they're around the Grandmaster area. And Grandmaster isn't a high rank. It's a joke rank. You can climb to Grandmaster with negative win rate. This is not a high rank. I don't consider Grandmaster players to be like good at the game. So yeah, I think most Grandmaster players just think they're good because they're Grandmaster. And what they end up doing, they ended up just losing, so they open a Smurf account just to stomp like bronze player to feel good about themselves. But maybe I'm wrong about this. This is just, in my opinion, what's going on.
They're not there to actually play for real. They're just there to mess around, throw games, and experiment with characters they never play because in their minds, it's just a Smurf. And while I do understand that you can't really learn a character to its maximum potential in a quick play, and you also want to protect your main account by not absolutely throwing a high elo game because you want to learn a specific character, but there are drawbacks from you just coming into a lobby and just insta-locking Jeff or insta-locking Black Panther or Spider-Man just to learn, because at that point you're just ruining the experience for everybody.
He's absolutely right. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, one thing, you don't want to screw your main account, so you kind of forced to open a Smurf. But the second thing is you're just ruining the game for other people. You might be good enough on certain character and then you just stomp, or you might be so bad on a character you just end up losing games for other people. But you yourself, you don't care because it's not your main account. But I do understand the point of opening a secondary account just to practice on a different character, because unfortunately quick play doesn't offer anything in terms of learning a new character. You're never gonna reach your full potential in quick play. It's just a fact. And yeah, you don't want to throw high elo rank matches because you're not gonna learn anything either. So you kind of forced to just open a new account. But this is something that the players shouldn't try to solve, because whenever players try to solve things, they always go the easiest route, and also they are very limited in what they can do. So in this case, I mean, the best thing to do is just open a Smurf account, right? But it's the developers' decision to actually give us what we want, and we want maybe a separate queue to try new characters or something like that. I'm not really sure what they can do, but it's on them to give us the solution, because we can't program this into the game. All we can do is open Smurf account, right? So this is very unfortunate, but yeah, it's their choice to fix.
Actual low-ranked players who are trying to improve, they're stuck with somebody who doesn't care about winning and just someone that's worried about bettering themselves. It's one of the most frustrating things when you know you have a Smurf on your team. You can always tell when there's a Smurf on your team if there's a level 15, 20, 25 without a player card, and they just get into the lobby and they're just throwing, trying to have fun. Meanwhile, the other team has a Smurf as well, but they're trying their hardest, so games turn into a complete stomp, and it's not fun, it's not fair, and it's ruining ranks for the players who actually want to improve. improve and get better at the game. But it doesn't just stop there. Smurfing is directly responsible for rank inflation. And if you've been in any GM Plus games, you'll start to notice that there's some players who don't actually belong. And you know what?
Well, to be fair, it's also because you can climb to GM with negative win rate. It's not only smurfing, but yeah, smurfing definitely contributed to the massive inflation we have on the game right now.
I mean, Smurfs are boosting their friends, or even worse than that, people are buying accounts, people are buying boosting services to artificially push their skill level up into the higher ranks where they have no business being in. So
yeah, and if we had a normal ranking system where you just get the same points that you lose in every single rank, nobody would have boosted. I mean, a lot of people will still have boosted, but it would have been significantly less, because when you boost someone, let's say you take a gold player into like Grandmaster, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. They're just gonna derank to, like, you know, they're gonna derank like to bronze or gold, like whatever, right? They're gonna go back to their own rank, because at the end of the day, that's what happened. You're just gonna lose a ton of games. So boosting doesn't really matter. But since we have a system that rewards playtime instead of being good at the game, yeah, we have massive inflation on our hands, and boosting is just rampant because of that.
So you could probably take a guess on what happens when they get there. They get farmed, they throw, they drag their teams down, and it creates a vicious cycle where matchmaking gets worse and worse and worse, because now you have unqualified players cluttering up in the higher rank games and making entire rank system feel meaningless. If you want to deep dive on this, I created a whole video on my thoughts and how to fix the rank system.
We watched
but
it.
I will touch a little bit on it right now. One of the main things I want to see to deter smurfing is definitely have at the beginning of every season a 10 game placement matches requirement. This will make sure that the smurf has to sit there and play 10 placement matches, and even when he does play placement matches, he's not guaranteed to start out at bronze, silver, gold, any of these quote-unquote fun ranks for them. It'll start them out maybe at plat, maybe at diamond, where they have to actually try and be challenged a little bit. So you're probably asking at this,
it's so crazy we don't have calibration matches. It's such a basic system into rank at this point. So many games has it. I mean, there's a reason for it. And yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't add that into this game. Everyone starts as bronze, which is such a weird concept to have in the game. But I mean, yeah, we just need to add calibration matches. It's not even a question. We just really need it.
This point of the video, what are the solutions to it? How do we fix this mess? Well, other games have already figured out how to stop this, or at least reduce it. And Marvel Rivals just needs to follow in their footsteps and do the same. Here's what I think that they should do. CS2, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, and a bunch of other games that have serious competitive scenes have already did this, and it works. Requiring a unique phone number per account would drastically reduce the amount of smurfs, because people wouldn't be able to create infinite alt accounts. Nobody wants to go through the hassle of finding their mom's phone, finding their dad's phone, sister, brother, whoever it may be, to get their phone number linked to an account. So
he is right, but most people just use like one or two Smurf account, and I don't think it's that difficult to get like one extra phone number. And most people just use one Smurf, and that's pretty much it.
At that point, they'll just, hey, you know what? I'll go a different route. I'll go try to see something else. But there are other counters to that. You can also make sure that the account is a high enough level for rank than it is now. Right now, to be ranked ready, you need to be level 10. It should take much longer for you to unlock rank, even for the betterment of the game. Give people until level 20 maybe, so that even new players can understand the game, figure out what kind of characters they play before they actually get into rank. Now, Siege has it set at level 50, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I shouldn't play almost 24 hours of a game before I can actually start playing rank, but I think level 20 in Marvel Rivals is long enough to get there. Another system I see, and Riot Games have actually perfected it, and I kind of think it's genius. In Valorant, if you're a Smurf, the system kind of forces you to be in lobbies with either other Smurfs or put you in higher elo lobby despite your rank. So
yeah, Smurf queue. I mean, it's a system that existed for such a long time now. Dota 2 has it, and it works great. The moment the system just recognizes you as a Smurf, you instantly queue into lobbies, which much longer timer to actually find a match, and it only matches you with Smurf, or people just at your skill level. This can be a bad thing, because sometimes you have games where you just pop off and you get falsely flagged, but these games are few and far in between. For the most part, the system actually works really well.
For example, if you had just made an account, level 10, level 15, whatever the case may be, and you get in rank, and you're playing well above your supposed skill bracket, it'll just bump you up a few divisions while your rank is still low, but it knows that you're smurfing, so it'll just put you up in the higher division. And I think that's a pretty genius system, and that will also deter smurfs from smurfing if they know they're just going to play against other smurfs. At the end of the day, smurfing and boosting are just killing the ranked experience in Marvel Rivals. The NetEase devs need to take action before this game turns into a joke. Let me know if you agree in the comments, and make sure you let me know what is your worst smurfing experience so far into this game. And if
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely right about everything he said here. It's kind of sad that NetEase doesn't really do anything against Smurf, and they don't even talk about it, which is very unfortunate because we don't even know if they're looking into the problem. I mean, if they at least gave us something, just to know that they're looking into it, not necessarily doing something, okay, we could have at least eased our minds. But the fact that smurfing is being so rampant and rank inflation is massive and at all-time high, yeah, this is starting to be a real issue, and it can potentially snowball really hard and make a lot of players quit. When I made my last video about smurfing, I got so many comments from people telling me it's just hell to be in like bronze, silver, gold right now. And honestly, I feel so bad because I was fortunate enough to play when the game launched, so everyone was kind of mixed with each other. So it didn't really matter, it was just chaos all around. But I can only imagine how difficult it is to be a new player and just getting constantly stomped by Smurf. I honestly, I feel so bad for you guys that has to go through it. It's such a hassle, and you can't even learn anything if you're just getting spawn killed every single time you get out of spawn. So it's just annoying. Like, I understand that. But yeah, hopefully NetEase one day will make something about this. I kind of wish they give us at least a little bit of something just so we know they're on it. But yeah, until now, we only had silence on this topic, so we can only hope. So once again, really great video. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you guys can watch it for yourself and give it a like. And yeah, make sure to let me know what you think in the comments below, but that's all for now. So make sure to check out my other content. I upload a pretty good videos, I believe. I'm playing the first Berserker Kazan right now. Very good game. So yeah, make sure to check these videos too. But that's all for now. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.